You look at all these brain diseases, virtually all of them, if you go back in time, if you've had emotional, physical, sexual trauma in early life, you're much more likely to have brain diseases later in life. And this is across all of them. Again, coming up with the idea that they're all related in some way. I think it now does, because they've done studies showing that following trauma or stress, you can trigger your immune system to be permanently raised. So again, you get this consistent stress that the thermostat doesn't go down to baseline. You have a period of a year, a terrible period as a kid. They do tests later in life. They'll find your inflammation levels in your blood are raised from people who had a nice, gentle, quiet childhood. And I think this starts to link all these different components together. And these cross all these early life traumas. You see the same thing in people with chronic pain, chronic back pain, fibromyalgia, irritable bowel syndrome, epilepsy, schizophrenia, everything. But it doesn't really matter where the source of the stress was. It's caused some physiological problem. So I think that is really interesting, so that we could pick up people who, if we had better tests of that stress and inflammation, we could start to help those people earlier on before the brain started to struggle. We've also done studies on talk therapies. So obviously psychiatry is compartmentalized into the talk therapists and the drug therapists. And there's quite a lot of evidence that talk therapy does reduce inflammation levels and help your immune system. So talking to your therapist long-term will reduce your stress, and you can see that in blood markers as well. The whole thing is starting to come together, that all these different ways of treating it can be working through similar pathways that looked so different through the fact that we've got so distracted by Descartes, Freud, treating the brain as something so different to the rest of the body.